uh, The Radical Power of Wellness, Redefining Success for Black Women Entrepreneurs. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I want to begin by acknowledging the extraordinary woman whose work has fundamentally transformed how we understand the intersection of entrepreneurship, wellness, and success for Black women. Librada Lewter is not just a visionary researcher, she is a revolutionary force dismantling outdated paradigms of success that have harmed generations of entrepreneurs. Through her groundbreaking work, she has created pathways to liberation for countless Black women in business, challenging systems that were never designed for their thriving. Her research doesn't just document problems, it illuminates solutions that are already changing lives. For decades, we've celebrated a particular vision of entrepreneurship. We've glorified the hustle. We've romanticized the grind. We've created entire mythologies around entrepreneurs who sleep 4 hours a night, work 7 days a week, and sacrifice everything: health, relationships, well being at the altar of success. And nowhere has this expectation been more crushing than for Black women entrepreneurs. But what if this entire framework is fundamentally flawed? What if the very thing we've been taught to sacrifice, our wellness, is actually the essential foundation for sustainable success? This is the revolutionary insight at the heart of Librada Lewter's work. The idea that wellness and self preservation for Black women entrepreneurs are not luxuries to be indulged in after success is achieved. They are necessities for sustainable success itself. For too long, the narrative has celebrated relentless hustle and overwork as badges of honor. But many Black women in business are now redefining success by centering their own wellness, choosing to prioritize mental health, boundaries, and transparency over traditional models of nonstop grind. This shift isn't just personal, it's radical. It challenges outdated expectations and creates space for more authentic leadership. Let me share with you the story of Tasha, who started her candle company from her Atlanta kitchen with a vision to empower women of color through affirmations embedded in each product. Like many Black women entrepreneurs, Tasha faced significant barriers: limited access to startup capital, underrepresentation in retail spaces, and the pressure to conform to conventional business models. But Tasha made a crucial decision that defied everything she'd been taught about entrepreneurship. Rather than sacrificing her well being on the path to success, she integrated self care into her business model itself. She leveraged local networks for early sales and used storytelling around self care as a unique brand differentiator. The results were transformative. Within just 2 years, her candles were stocked nationwide. She built a loyal customer base who saw themselves reflected in her mission. She expanded retail presence across multiple states and created meaningful rituals for customers around affirmation based products. But here's what's truly revolutionary about Tasha's approach: she didn't succeed despite prioritizing her wellness, she succeeded because of it. Her commitment to self care wasn't separate from her business strategy, it was central to it. And this integration created a sustainable model that continues to thrive today. Tasha's story illustrates a profound truth that Librada Lewter emphasizes. Wellness can be central to both product design and founder sustainability. This brings me to the first key insight from Librada's research. Redefining success means prioritizing wellness. Success doesn't have to come at the expense of your well being. More Black women entrepreneurs are challenging norms by integrating self care into their business strategies. proving that sustainability is just as important as profitability. We've been conditioned to believe that success requires sacrifice, particularly of our health, our relationships, our peace of mind. But what if the opposite is true? What if sustainable success actually requires that we protect these things? This isn't just idealistic thinking, it's backed by data. Companies with wellness centered cultures show higher productivity, lower turnover, and greater innovation. Leaders who prioritize their well being make better decisions, build stronger teams, and create more resilient organizations. The second key insight from Librada's work is equally powerful. Access is the real barrier, not capability. Despite being the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the United States, Black women face persistent funding gaps and systemic barriers. But these barriers don't stem from lack of talent or innovation, they stem from limited access to resources and networks. This distinction is crucial. The narrative that success is purely meritocratic, that those who work hard enough will inevitably succeed, ignores the very real structural barriers that exist. By acknowledging these barriers, we can begin to address them directly rather than placing the burden on individual entrepreneurs to simply work harder. Consider the story of Cassandra Hill, who founded Holistic Living Consulting after experiencing burnout herself as an entrepreneur. Like many of her peers, she struggled with neglecting personal health while scaling her coaching practice amid societal pressure to appear tireless. Cassandra made a bold pivot toward faith based coaching combined with herbal remedies, prioritizing healing alongside ambition, and advocated openly about setting boundaries. Her approach resonated widely. Clients reported better work life balance while growing their businesses sustainably. What's remarkable about Cassandra's journey is that she had to overcome deep skepticism about slowing down among high achievers. She was told repeatedly that her emphasis on wellness would limit her growth. Instead, it became her competitive advantage. She built a thriving consultancy featured nationally and became an authority on integrating wellness into entrepreneurship narratives. Most significantly, Cassandra sparked conversations industry wide about redefining hustle culture among Black women founders. She didn't just build a successful business, she helped create a movement. Her story exemplifies how shifting focus toward holistic well being redefines leadership standards. It challenges the notion that success requires constant sacrifice and offers an alternative model where wellness and achievement are complementary rather than competing priorities. The third key insight from Librada's research is perhaps the most powerful. Community support multiplies impact. When you support a Black woman owned business by buying products, making referrals, or investing, you're not only helping one entrepreneur, you're fueling broader change in representation, innovation, and economic empowerment within communities. This ripple effect is beautifully illustrated by Jasmine Marie and her Black Girls Breathing Collective. Jasmine launched this collective offering breathwork sessions tailored specifically for Black women dealing with stress from entrepreneurship and life pressures. Jasmine recognized that few safe spaces existed where professional stress intersected with cultural realities like racism and microaggressions. Her solution: hosting accessible virtual breathwork sessions, plus partnerships with global brands, making mental health tools available at scale. The outcomes have been remarkable. Over 16,000 participants reached globally with tangible improvements, reported in managing anxiety and stress levels among members. Jasmine's own experiences navigating corporate America inspired this creation, a direct response to unmet needs she observed firsthand. She built one of the largest digital wellness communities focused on intersectional identity and wellness needs, setting a new standard for culturally competent mental health resources within entrepreneurial ecosystems. What these stories from Librada Lewter's research demonstrate is a fundamental reimagining of what entrepreneurship can and should be, particularly for Black women. For too long, we've operated under the assumption that more is always better: more work, more sacrifice, more hustle. But what these entrepreneurs show us is that sometimes less is more. Less burnout means more sustainability. Less pressure means more creativity. Less conformity to outdated models means more authentic leadership. This isn't just about individual well being, though that would be reason enough. It's about creating businesses that are built to last. It's about fostering innovation that comes from wholeness rather than depletion. It's about building economic models that sustain communities rather than extracting from them. And here's where this becomes relevant for everyone in this room, regardless of your background or industry. The lessons from Black women entrepreneurs about integrating wellness into business models offer a blueprint for all of us. In a world where burnout has become epidemic, where mental health challenges are rising across all demographics, where we're increasingly questioning whether our current models of work are sustainable, these insights offer a path forward. So I ask you today, what would happen if we all began to see wellness not as a luxury, but as a necessity? What would our businesses look like if we designed them around sustainability? Not just environmental sustainability, but human sustainability. What would our economy look like if we valued well being as much as we value growth? These aren't abstract questions. They're urgent ones that demand our immediate attention and action because the systems we've built are failing us. The metrics we've used to measure success are incomplete. The sacrifices we've normalized are unsustainable. I challenge each of you today to examine your own relationship with success, to question the narratives you've internalized about what it takes to achieve it, to consider how you might integrate wellness into your own work, not as an afterthought, but as a foundation. For our business leaders, this means creating cultures that truly support well being, not just with token wellness programs, but with structural changes that make wellness possible. For investors, this means expanding your definition of what makes the business investment worthy to include sustainability of the founders. For policymakers, this means addressing the systemic barriers that prevent equal access to resources. And for each of us as individuals, this means having the courage to prioritize our wellness, even when everything around us says to sacrifice it. It means redefining success on our own terms. It means recognizing that our worth is not measured by our productivity. The revolution that Librada Lewter and these remarkable entrepreneurs are leading isn't just about changing business models. It's about changing consciousness. It's about reclaiming our humanity in systems designed to reduce us to our output. It's about creating new possibilities for what work can be, what success can look like, and what we can achieve when we're truly well. This is the radical power of wellness, and it's time we embraced it. Thank you.